Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The race starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
That's right. Good evening and welcome, everybody. I'm James J. This is the Midwest Motorsports Truck Series road race from Watkins, Glen, everybody's favorite road course. I'm joined tonight by Walker McAnulty. Walker, it's James. You got us?
Yes, sir. I got you. I'm excited for a nice, wonderful day of racing some trucks around a road course here at Watkins.
We're going to go green for 41 laps. The trucks have already qualified. We'll have a competition caution at lap 8 with a real safety car. Race Control's Josh Watt gets to drive the Dark Horse Mustang pace car around instead of the Barney, whatever 1980s Mustang that is up front. The cars have already qualified, and the grid is up. Congrats to Ty Williams, has put it on the pole. Eric Thaler, the godfather of Midwest Motorsports, starts in the 15 on the outside of the front row. Justin Thaler and Mark Cochran showing their road course prowess on row 2. Robert Sanders and Dustin Reinstedel, row 3. Don Happick, Trevor McLaughlin, row 4. Michael Harris Jr., row 5 with John Aslin, Robert Olavison, and Christopher Howlett, newcomer to Midwest Motorsports. Welcome to the club. Ron Schummer and Nicholas Aslin. Nicholas Aslin is going to start from the pit lane from a penalty last week. So he is in the corner serving his penalty. Again, we're going to have a caution at lap 8. Walker, what do you think we're going to see tonight? Or pit stops, fuel runs? What do you think?
So, from what the little birdie in my ear told me, we're going to have about 25 laps on a fuel run here. The competition caution's at lap 8. So, it's going to be interesting to see how this strategy works out. I don't know if guys are going to take tires, not take tires, just take fuel only, if they're going to stop early, stop late. It really depends on where you are in the pack. You know, if you're in the middle of a swarm of bees and you think you can go faster, pit early, get into that fresh air, and try to make up some time. But this should be a really fun race, a lot of action, so let's just see what happens.
With only 14 cars starting, you're going to lose some track position if you stop at the competition caution, but maybe not too much. And then we'll see if anybody takes a chance coming back through the field and then shortens their final pit stop on fuel. But we're going to go green as the trucks are coming around, doubled up, ready to go, as Ty Williams steps on the gas and checks out.
Got a nice view of the trees here. Ty Williams.
Sorry about that.
Ty Williams on the inside, holding it strong. Got Justin Thaler and Mark Cochran battling for second. Ty Williams and Eric Thaler 1 and 2 coming up through the S's, with those two still side by side in the back. Everybody else seems to be single file, and it looks like those two got the single file now. So now for the long back straight up to the bus stop.
The bus stop is really hard. You got to really watch out for that entry wall. We're riding now as everybody's cutting the curbs. Are the curbs going to be a factor tonight, you think?
Absolutely. Those curbs can bite you like you would not believe. You touch those things just a little too hard, and you are flying off the road into the next poster. It's unbelievable. We have Ty Williams still out in front, Eric Thaler right behind him, and Justin Thaler in third, Mark Cochran fourth. They've got a little breakaway there back to the Dustin Reinstedel in fifth as we come around the final corner to complete the first lap out of 41.
I'm trying to find the best views. Everybody's really close up. Everybody seems to be spread apart. You're trying to find their groove. Road course racing is not everybody's favorite. How long did it take you to get used to road course, Walker? I know you're accustomed to the road course? Do you consider yourself a road course driver or a oval driver, or is there such a thing?
Honestly, I still consider myself an oval driver. I'm nowhere near skilled on road course. I was at one point, but now I'm not really. So, it's road course is a lot of fun, a lot of work you got to do throughout the race. And instead of the close battles all race, it's the close battles with your own car. That's the big difference between oval and road course. As looks like the two Thaylors are getting a little bit closer together here. Ty Williams stretching out that lead up to a little over a second now as they come around the final corner on the second lap. The tires on these trucks should be starting to get nice and toasty now, so they should really be able to start pushing now and laying down those good lap times as Ty Williams comes across the line. Exactly as I say, 13-1 for Ty, 13-2 for Eric, 13-1 for Justin Thaylor. These three guys are all right with each other.
Watkins Glen is a famous track, Formula One. Been racing here for a very long time. Of course, all SCCA, the Northeast region. Oh, Justin really closes up in the bus stop entry. Eric played it a little cautious there. The distance kind of ebbs and flows on entry versus exit. It's really about just putting together a complete lap for lap time as they start to run off past the exit curbs on the exit of the carousel. Try to keep a little momentum up.
Oh, Justin Thaylor's around. Into the penultimate corner, goes off into the gravel, doesn't hit the wall. Thankfully, that gravel trap is there. He keeps it going, but he's going to drop down the order. 8th place, 9th place now. Or maybe even further back, waiting for the timing tower to catch up here. Let's see, he's behind the 76. So, yep, 8th place. That's a big setback there for Justin Thaylor.
Brake bias, maybe?
We'll see here. I know we run really, really far back brake bias in these things to get him to slow down and not lock up. But it looks like he probably just overcooked it coming into here. Let's see what it looks like from his perspective here. So coming up to the penultimate corner, probably one of the hardest corners around Watkins here in one of these trucks. Yeah, he just completely overshoots the corner there. Maybe he didn't get it in gear. If you look at his RPM, it's all the way down at 1,000. So he might have just missed the gear downshifting, and that could have upset the car. Yeah, I think he might have missed the gear on the downshift here. And that whenever you do that, you're not going to slow down because we rely on that engine braking. Yeah, look at that. He didn't get it in gear, and around he goes. Thankfully, he didn't get into the wall, kept it going, so he's still out there on the track. He'll be one to watch, though, coming back up through the field as he looks to the inside here of Sean Happick, but not quite anything there for him as we come to the scene of the crime from last lap.
So I just got word from race control that on the comms, Justin Thaylor said he was adjusting his seat in his rig, and that's his excuse anyway. With the paddle shifters, how do you downshift wrong? Or do you think maybe using an H pattern?
Well, if you're not using like auto clutch, for example, and you don't get the blip right on your downshift or you don't get the clutch right, it's easy for you to miss that gear and not even notice, especially on the paddles. As we see, Justin got a really good run here. He's getting up to the left side of Sean Happick. Looks like Sean's just going to let him by. He knows he's not going to do anything but lose time if he tries to battle Justin, as he is now setting his sights onto that ghost truck there of Trevor McLaughlin coming up into the outer loop or the carousel, depending on if you're a NASCAR guy or a sports car guy. As he goes to the inside here of Trevor McLaughlin and makes that move stick, so he's already dispatched those two in 2 corners. Good job from Justin, but he's got a big task on his hands now. He's almost 14 seconds behind Ty Williams out in front.
14 seconds, that's costly. You might see him play some strategy on the pit cycle from the competition caution at lap 8. Just 2 more laps to go. Ty Williams putting on a clinic out here, running clean and consistent laps. Eric, I think, just trying to keep up and wait for the race to come to him.
Yeah, I mean, this stage of the race, there's really no reason to push too hard. You're just going to burn up your tires. You know the competition caution's coming, so just ride around where you're at and make laps till you all get pulled back together again, which is a great break for Justin. You know, on Tuesdays, that spin would cost him a whole lot more than it does today. Everybody gets packed back up again. Oh, what a
Nice.
sideways moment there for Eric. Good job holding on to that one. We got the closest two cars on track here of Trevor McLaughlin and Sean Happick, P7.
Further back,
Never
we got
mind.
a
We got
three-way battle.
a three-way fight here. I am in
Robert-
love with that Coors Light car.
Yep,
livery.
that's Michael Harris Jr. in the 40. Robert Olavison in the 22 lets him go. And Ron Schamer in the 97 right behind Michael Harris. These guys. The Kodak, that's an Ernie Irvan throwback, or look-alike at least.
Yep,
Looks awesome, I have to admit.
That is pretty sweet. We got the 3 throwback rides back here, battling it out for 11th place. I think they missed the throwback race.
Right. All good. We appreciate the effort. So Nicholas Aslan started from pit lane. He's already up to P8.
Oh, wait a second. Oh, okay. I think both of the Thaylors pit is they're now in P12 and P13.
Wow.
So both of them pit before the competition caution. Here's the strategy for you. Wow. Justin just now coming out of the pit lane, so they're all the way in the back. So let's see how many takers we have under this competition caution here. This might be a costly decision for Eric Thaler as the stage caution does come out as Ty Williams comes across the line.
We'll look for the Mustang. Josh Watt to come out. Good job, Ty. Listening on the comms there. I got to admit that dark horse looks great. But wow, what a strategy play by the Thaler brothers. Guarantee they talked about it and thought that through. Something very similar, Justin Thaler did that at Sonoma earlier in the season.
Yes,
did the exact same thing. And it paid off as he brought it home in victory lane.
So we have a few takers here on the first lap of the competition caution here. Robert Olavison, Ron Schamer, Nick Asselin, John Ashelin, and Sean Happick all coming into the pits. So that's going to cycle Eric and Justin Thaler up to P7 and P8 in line for this restart.
And they qualified 2 and 3, so we know they're fast.
Yeah, so this should be interesting watching these two come up through the field. All of those guys pitting also cycled Michael Harris Jr. in that number 40 truck up to P6. So he's up 4 spots. Let's see if he can hold on to that track position he has gained from this competition caution.
I mean, if you're the front guys and did not pit, you might as well stay out now and just pay your price when you come in at the halfway mark. If you can make it on just one stop, I believe.
Yeah,
I believe it's going to be just one stop. Yeah. So they just now have their work cut out for them to pull a gap in the rest of this fuel run.
I'm pretty confused by the decision to pit by the two Thalers there.
Robert Sanders
here comes Robert Sanders and Trevor and Michael Harris Jr. as well. So all 3 of them coming in. And, as I was going to say, I'm kind of intrigued by these guys pitting now, which, Eric and Justin pitting is fine because now they're 4th and 5th. So it worked out for them. Also worked out Nick Asselin from the pit lane, now in 6th place, up there close to where he's used to being because he's our points leader right now, correct?
Yes, he is. Thank you for that.
So Nicholas Asselin, he needs these points here on the road course. See if he can move it up, maybe get on the podium. We can talk to him a little bit later.
.41 points ahead of Dustin Reinstedel is Nicholas Aslan. So I think, I think we're going to have to pretty much separate the two groups into those with a long pit stop and those with a short pit stop, because nobody can make it to the end from here. I mean, not even the best fuel saver on the planet could. So, not even you, Walker. So, we got long pit stops and short pit stops when it comes time for their pit stop. And I think those that have stopped are going to have a shorter pit stop, but only the front, three are going to be in that long pit stop area category. So those three are going to have to work to create a gap that's going to be about what does it take to fill up for fuel a full tank as opposed to a full fill minus 8 laps, 7 laps.
I'd say probably the difference is going to be somewhere in that 5 to 8 second range. I'd say maybe a little less. I'm not really 100% sure with the fuel on these trucks.
Well, stay tuned. We're gonna have to find out. We're about to find out.
I'm very interested to see what happens here, as we're gonna go back green flag racing once again.
Shout out to the Aussie Mark Cochran in the 93 truck, currently second. One of those guys is gonna have a long stop, but he has been with Midwest Motorsports for a while. Really good road racer as well as an oval racer. So I expect to see Mark Cochran and Ty Williams go at it as we are underway again. Green flag from here on out. I don't think it's going to take, it's possible for the safety car to come out again. So we're going green from here on out, and it's flat out till lap 41.
Looks like Eric and Dustin are side by side. Eric gets P3 away from Dustin. That's going to be huge if these two Thaler brothers can get past Dustin and keep up with these lead two trucks. Dustin Reinstedel here was, I think, P5 or P6 before this competition caution with all the pit cycles. He is getting absolutely freight trained. Looks like Nick Asselin falls in line behind him. I thought maybe he was going to try to follow Justin through, as we all cycle through one by one around the inner loop, then the outer loop for all you NASCAR fans. Got to blend them in. Ty Williams, though, out in front, coming up to the final couple of corners. And Mark Cochran still right behind him, only 6/10 back. He's holding on to him a little bit better than the guys did on the first run. So we'll see how this comes across as they come up towards the wall to finish lap number 10 and start lap 11. And, man, this is going to be interesting.
I'm with you. I'm intrigued. This is going to be fascinating. Cerebral race, thinking outside of the box, trying to pull strategy, although they were qualified second and third, so they might even be able to win on pace alone, but they decided to try to play a different hand, and we'll see what happens. Look at Ty. Cranking out really fast laps. He's already up to 1.3 seconds after just 2 laps.
Looked like he made a small mistake there in the bus stop. Lost a little bit of time. But Mark Cochran also making a mistake there in the carousel, getting Eric Thaler really close to his rear bumper here, just about a car length or two behind him. Not super close, so it doesn't look like he's going to be able to make a move. But Mark misses the apex there. Eric's going to pull in a little bit more. He's getting closer and closer as we come to the final corner here. He might be close enough to do something into turn 1. Or maybe into the bus stop after that long back straight. Man, Eric is right on his rear bumper coming through the apex. He's going to be close enough to make a move after the S's here. Going down the back straight, taking the grass on the inside, trying to use as much road as possible and get a good exit out of these S's. These S's are not flat out and easy in these trucks. Eric gets a really good run on Mark Cochran. They're going to be side by side coming down the back straight into the bus stop chicane. Let's see if they try to hold it side by side. It looks like they do. Eric taking as much curb as he can. He's all over the place, sideways, and Mark Cochran does a very good job of holding on to that second position for now. But all of this fighting, look at that gap out in front. Ty Williams, almost 3 seconds ahead after all this fighting.
Good on Mark for holding his ground there and not just giving it giving it up. Shows that he has to fight. He wants to fight. He's here to race. He's not here to just let the godfather of Midwest Motorsports. He's got Midwest Motorsports all over that 15 truck, but Mark Cochran came to race. That's what he signed up for, and that's what he's getting. And he's bringing it to you and me here in the broadcast Midwest Motorsports Truck Series. Just awesome racing. We see this race in and race out week to week, whether it's a road course or an oval. Midwest Motorsports is always entertaining. In the truck series, especially big fields, a little bit smaller field tonight with only 15 trucks, 14 trucks racing, but nevertheless, the racing is hard and fast as Mark Cochran gets on the grass. And to your point, Walker, Ty Williams has pulled out almost a 3.5 second lead. Eric decides to follow Mark Cochran through. This time, Eric is real sideways coming through the carousel, hanging on to it, buddy. Power slide. That gives the gap to Justin.
Man, it looks like Eric is fighting that truck a ton. He's got to be careful on those tires. Justin looking to the outside, backs out of it though, lets his brother back in line as they come through these final couple of corners. These two really need to work together and not fight. Right. Since they're on the same strategy, they really need to not fight each other and try to stay within striking distance of Ty for whenever they do get to do their short pit stop.
Right, Ty Williams is the goal here, not Mark Cochran. No disrespect to Mark. Good surprise. It looks like Eric had the pace on him, but up front, it's all Ty Williams. Right now, just putting on a clinic, like I said, 81 snap-on truck. He is 12 points behind Justin in the championship. So bonus points could make the difference as we're on race 10 of 13, I believe.
10 of 12.
12, thank you.
So, looking at the points battle here, we have a really good points battle for second between Dustin, who's currently second, Justin Thaler, 13 points back, Ty Williams, 12 points back from Justin, and then Sean Happick, 9 points back from Ty. So this can be a really big race for Ty. If he can stay out front and win this thing, maybe he can get some points on both Dustin and Justin, jump up closer to being in P2 in these standings.
Ty has missed 2 races.
Oh, Eric is sideways. Oh. What a great job holding on to that truck, but it looks like Justin is going to get by him here. Wow. What a save there out of Eric. He is wrestling that thing. Wow.
Really trying hard.
He's got to be careful, though. He's going to burn up these tires pushing that hard. Comes into turn 1 here. Looks like he's already upset on turn in here. As soon as he turned into the corner, that truck's sideways, and he's fighting it. You can see his hands in there. He's all the way full lock to the left, holds onto it, gets her straight, and keeps her going, throttle down. Great job there by Eric, once again holding on to that thing.
30 degrees yaw there.
I mean, that truck's looking like it works at the strip club right now. He's got that booty on that thing hanging out. But what happened to Justin? Now he's back here.
Yeah.
Man, these guys.
There's something in the bus stop, baby. On the carousel. Oh.
Carousel?
You got into Mark and just lifted? That's weird.
Maybe. Let's see.
We are normal speed here. Completed the pass, going through the bus stop. Catches up with Mark. Mark goes wide. Oh, he just slams on the brakes to keep from hitting Mark. Still has some speed.
And just.
Did you get a slowdown maybe? Or?
Maybe he got a slowdown from the bus stop. That might be it. It did look like he took it pretty aggressively. So that is the price you pay for looking for that speed in the bus stop. And you can see he's still just jumping all over those curbs like crazy. That was not a deterrent. He is a man on a mission now. He's been through plenty of adversity already in this race. So let's see what he can do to get back past Nick Asselin here. Mark Cochran still holding on to that P2 after that great defense of his position. Now has a little bit of a cushion behind him. Nick Asselin going defensive, all just letting Justin through. He knows, okay, if I battle with Justin, I'm going to lose time. I'd rather stay with everybody. So that's what he's doing. Smart there out of Nick Asselin, your points leader. Doesn't want anything bad to happen.
And he doesn't want to risk his bonus points for 0x.
Very true as well. That's something else to really think about. We already know Justin's not getting bonus points because he's been off already multiple times. I have a feeling that Ty probably is on 0x as well, but with how hard he's pushing, he might have gotten an off track already. So that might be something good to hold on to in the back of our minds. Looks like Eric has gotten closer to Mark Cochran up there for P2. Only 3/10 back, about a truck length behind or a little bit more coming through the final couple of corners. So he's worked his way back up to that rear bumper. Sideways once again coming through the final corner. Man, I think he's taken the advice from old Doc Hudson off of the Cars movie, literal.
Yeah. Turn left to go right.
Look at him go. He is not scared of that thing though. Still using all those curbs, all the dangerous ones. He doesn't care. He's out there trying to win this race. But first he's got to get past Mark Cochran and start eating into that 6.5 second lead that Ty Williams has. Oh, Mark Cochran, a bad run there in the S's. Looks like Eric's going to squeeze along the outside. They're side drafting door to door coming down towards the bus stop. Oh, they make contact. Mark Cochran into the wall. Oh, no.
That's brutal.
Nose first, right into the wall.
That's similar like a right rear hook on the ovals. Here they come. Eric's got to run on the outside. Mark squeezes him just a little. Eric gives it back, then comes back into him. I wish Eric would have held a little cleaner line there. I can't put all of that on Mark. It does take two to tango. But good for Mark to get it going.
I think what might have happened there is they made contact right at the braking zone, upset Eric's truck.
Yeah.
And it started just wiggling and more and more and more. And, you know, obviously it's not any sort of purposeful contact here from Eric, you know, to cause this crash. Just a little squeeze here, and you can see Eric's, what we see here just on Mark's onboard, just straight into the wall. Nothing he can do. He's a passenger in that situation. Unfortunate for him. He had such a good run going there, but looks like he was able to keep going, so I guess he doesn't have a meatball, but I'm sure that truck's not handling the greatest. He's probably just trying to get within the fuel window before he comes to the pits. Oh, I think he might have been losing it right there.
Yeah.
But all of this mayhem, look at the gap. It's 8 seconds. You remember that delta I was talking about for the fuel window?
Yeah. He's got it. He's covered it.
5 to 8 seconds. He has covered that delta in 8 laps. Great driving here from Ty to get out front, stay there. He's running nice, smooth, consistent laps in the low 14s and high 13s. All the guys behind him, they were squabbling for position and going high 14s and low 15s. So, you know, he's doing a great job just extending this lead, keeping that truck safe within those 2 yellow lines on the outside of the track and keeping that thing pointed in the right direction.
Putting on a clinic. Already coming up on lap traffic with just 13 cars, trucks, should say. Good on you, 33. Christopher Howlett, newcomer to Midwest Motorsports.
And I like that.
He's not filled out a fun facts form yet, so can't tell you much about him. Hopefully by the next broadcast, we'll get to learn more about Chris. He's got the Gravedigger paint, bad to the bone. I like it.
I mean, I really dig that paint scheme, you know? Like, I'm really digging it.
I'm with
Anyways,
you. First time out. We got Justin and Eric. Justin has reeled Eric back in.
I hope you can't hear me wheezing.
All good. It's about almost at the halfway point in the race.
We have a couple of guys in the pits. Dustin Reinstedel, Mark Cochran coming in for their pit stop. So Mark Cochran using that fast repair. I bet he's going to be so happy that his steering wheel's straight again. And Dustin Reinstedel coming in at the earliest time possible. 33 truck there once again getting out of the way. Thank you, sir. As the two Thaylors see if they work together or if they fight each other here. This is going to be like really important for both of these guys' races. If they fight or if they take flight.
These are for bragging rights, you know. I mean, for dinner talk, a family chat. There's more at stake than we might see.
Does anyone else pit on this lap? Ty Williams stayed out. Eric, Justin, and Nick Asselin all stayed out. Robert Sanders also stayed out. Sean Happick pit back on in the competition caution, so he should be staying out as well. All Mark Cochran.
Just out of the pits.
Yeah. Man, I feel bad for Mark. He was having such a good run and comes out of the pit lane on cold tires here from sitting in the box. Comes through the S's like normal, and rear probably just comes around on him here. Yeah, rear just comes around. Really easy to do on cold tires. Doesn't look like he really hits anything, so good job there holding on to that truck.
Lives to fight another day.
Speaking of living to fight another day, Ty Williams into the pit lane here. Don't speed, hold that thing at the right speed, and don't miss the box. Let's see. This is where things get interesting as Eric Thaler and Justin Thaler come by to assume 1-2. Nick Asselin as well in third position now with this pit stop from Ty Williams. So let's see what happens here. Two important things for Ty. If he can be in clean air and if these guys fight each other or not out here in the front. Looks like Ty might get lucky enough to slot into a gap here between Sean Happick and Trevor McLaughlin.
He needs to get out in front of Trevor. I think he's going to do it. The exit of pit lane is after turn one. Going to need to go through the gears quick.
That is big for Ty Williams.
Yes.
Really
so
big.
We're expecting 7 laps. That means with 12 to go, the Thaylors should be coming in.
So let's see how the cookie crumbles here.
The race is on. Shout out to Dustin. You know, he's not done too bad to pit a little earlier. As soon as he knew he can make it all the way, he decides to pit. And I think he's going to gain some track position here on the guys he was racing.
I think he will too. He just set his fastest lap of the race, 13.9, almost a full second faster than the leaders. A full second faster than Robert Sanders, who is one of the trucks that he was around at the time. So we'll also pay attention to Dustin's progress here. He's been in clean air ever since he pit and probably just loving life, putting down these hot laps and trying to make up some track position.
I think he's going to be fighting with Nicholas Asselin once Nicholas Asselin makes his final stop, or has he already? No, pit lap 7. He's got a stop to make. He's showing 2 pit stops because he started in pit lane.
Yeah. Speaking of Nick Asselin, he is right on the bumper of Justin Thaler. They're looking at the timing screens here. Looks
Got
like,
him.
yeah, Nick Asselin got past Justin Thaler there for P2. I looked over at the timing screens to look at lap times, and all of a sudden I saw the gap really close.
And Justin has lost some ground on Eric by the time we get here while we were watching Dustin in pit cycles. So Justin, did he get another slowdown? Or did he just lose it in the carousel?
Let's see. He got a slowdown, it looks like. Oh no, he lost it.
Big wiggle. Putting the
Okay.
power down. Nicholas Aslan takes advantage. As the 15 gets farther and farther away, Justin does a good job to let Nicholas go and try to attack when the race comes back to him.
New
Nicholas
fast
Aslan.
lap of the race, by the way. 112.8. First man in the 12s. Ty Williams.
New tires.
He is hot lapping. Mark Cochran, 13.4 the last time by. Dustin Reinstedel, he set his new fastest lap of the race the lap before last, a 13.5, a small mistake on the last lap, 14.7. These guys that have all pit and taken tires are on the move right now. Eric Thaler, though, still on those old tires out front. That clean air working good for him, 13.9 the last time by. So, and 14.7 that lap, not quite as good. Looks like he caught up to Robert Olavison there. Thank you, Robert, for letting him through. As we can see in the background still, Nicholas Asselin, Justin Thaler. They're like the hook and loop of some good old-fashioned Velcro because they are stuck together right now. Justin with a great run through the S's, but he has nowhere to go, has to back out of it. They're still side by side coming down the back straight. Coming up to Robert Olavison, Nick Asselin, very smart once again, thinking about his points. He lets Justin through. Robert allowing both of these guys through in the carousel. Thank you once again, Robert. As we continue on racing, so Justin back up into second place behind his brother Eric, but look at the gap. 4.5 seconds is the gap between Justin and Eric now. Eric might be the only one that might have a chance on Ty here in terms of the overcut with the fuel, you know, taking less fuel. I don't think Justin's going to be close. Nick Asselin comes into the pits this lap. So let's see where he comes out in relation to Dustin Reinstedel.
Once again, Midwest Motorsports, midwest-motorsports.com, where you can find us. We have 3 racing leagues, the Truck Series on Friday nights, Cup Series and the Next Gen Cars on Sunday, and our current Road Series is GT4s. They race on Tuesday. We'll play a little promo here. Get your pin out, midwest-motorsports.com. Write it down. Come join the fun. Entry is free and always open. New season is going to start soon. We have 3 races left. Midwest-motorsports.com.
Are you tired of milquetoast lawless racing and ready for a real league? Then you need Midwest Motorsports. Our iRacing Cup, Truck, and Road Series are unrivaled and make grown men cry. Featuring active race control and an active Discord server. Say goodbye to cheese wagon free-for-alls and hello to the best league racing you'll find anywhere. Want more? Who doesn't? Catch our weekly podcast, complete with member interviews, race reviews, standing updates, and rig tips and tricks. Live race broadcasts with announcer commentary.
And Ty Williams in the 81 in the red car. Jason Huffman gets in between them.
Fridays, Truck Series. Sundays, Cup Series. Tuesdays, Road Series. Visit midwest-motorsports.com to sign up for free and see if you have what it takes to not finish last. Our next season starts soon. Scan the QR code to sign up now, unless you like being taken out in Turn 1 by noobs.
Nobody likes being taken out in turn 1 by noobs. One of the advantages of running a league where you get to know your fellow racer, side-by-side racing. The order of the day, Eric Thaler continues to chase Ty Williams before Eric's pit stop. If he comes in, nope, not this time. Still letting the rear end hang out. Broadcast is brought to us by Josh Watt on Twitch and streaming the following day on YouTube, twitch.tv/Rivenvale. If you're watching, we appreciate you. Go ahead and drop a comment. We'll see if we can get some comments going back and forth. This is the battle for the lead. I think Ty Williams going to come out in front of Eric. But we'll see. Eric has one stop remaining. He can get around Trevor McLaughlin. Trevor's going to let him go in that bubblegum ghost cart. Appreciate you.
That might be a slowdown there from Eric. He took a lot of curb on the inside of that first apex. During the break, Justin Thaler came into the pit lane, as well as Nick Asselin. So those three guys are pretty close to each other. Nick Asselin, 2 seconds ahead of Justin. They came out really close to each other. So the tire warm-up for Justin costing him about 2 seconds. And Dustin Reinstettel right there as well in the picture. So all those laps he was putting down in that clean air brought him back up with this group of guys. Eric Thaler now into the pit lane. And we'll see if Robert Sanders comes down the pits as well. Looks like he kept going. He pit. So he's not going to get that lead a lap bonus point. Ty Williams coming around the final corner. He is going to take back the lead of this race. And he is going to have a big lead. He is 20 seconds ahead of Nicholas Asselin, who is going to be right around that second place fight. We'll see where Eric Thaler comes out with these guys. We know Eric was a little bit ahead of Nick Asselin. Eric on the pit exit now. You can see him there on the inside. He's got the shorter line through here. But Nick Asselin is going to have a better run coming up through the S's. There's Eric Thaler. Wow. Cold tires on that number 15 truck. And Nick Asselin right there close to him. Let's see if he can get a good run coming up the S's. Maybe get a chance to get by him here going into the bus stop. Doesn't look like it. He's a little bit too far back. But he is right there close enough in striking distance for if he can just put down a couple of laps here while Eric is still in that warm-up phase.
Incredible racing. Great run by Nicholas Asselin to be so close to Eric and in this fight for the podium. I mean, Chocolate Miter says don't take the hats to victory lane, but Ty Williams is going to have to do a lot to lose an 18-second lead with only 11 laps to go. So the race is for the rest of the podium. Got some bad news for you, Walker. Your favorite paint scheme, well, one of our favorite paint schemes tonight. Michael Ayers Jr.'s got a drive-through for too many incidents. So he will serve a drive-through, black flag.
Sterling must have got a black flag for jumping out of that truck during the break. Break and trying to pull out that right front fender on that thing.
Right. That's right. Whoa.
Oh my Lord, whoa. We've got some crazy stuff going on here.
Justin gets by.
Justin Thaler gets past Nick Asselin there, 4P3. Looks like he's going to have the green light now to fight with Eric. They have no chance of fighting with Ty anymore, so these two might just put on a great show, and Nick is going to be right behind them, hoping that they put on a great show because he might be able to sneak through and get that second place if something happens between these two.
Ready to pick up any scraps left over if these guys, like Walker said, get the bragging, a fight for bragging rights. We've seen Eric aggressive earlier in the race. We've seen him sideways. We've seen Justin get slowdowns from being super aggressive as Eric Thaler in the 15 misses the perfect line through turn one. Justin gets a little bit of a run on the exit. Let's see if he can continue carrying that momentum up to the bus stop. Not yet. We have a lap truck ahead of us. We're going to catch them after the bus stop. We hope. Doesn't slow Eric down too much.
It's like that's the 40 of Sterling. Of Michael Harris Jr. there. It's going to let these guys through the carousel. Thank you, Michael, for being a kind racer. As the two Thailers, they're going to be duking it out. This might be a Kyle and Kurt Busch replay from the All-Star race all those years back. Or it could be a Kyle and Kurt Busch replay of that race at, was it Auto Club that Kurt Busch won his last win? Fighting against his brother? I think it was Auto Club, right?
I'm not sure. You're telling the story, Walker.
In the 45. Somebody fact check me that in the chat. I'm not quite sure. I'm a very good walking Wikipedia page, but I think that's the right race. I don't know. Anyways, we're getting back to this one.
Any other brothers in NASCAR that we know?
Well, you've got the Labanis.
Yeah.
They were out there together. I don't think they ever actually really had any run-ins with each other, if I remember correctly. Obviously, we had the father-son of the Earnhardts. I think that's probably the most famous two cars to ever be on the track at the same time in NASCAR. I think Richard and Kyle Petty also raced around the same time in the Cup Series. Richard raced for 50 years, so, you know.
Dale Jr. and Jeffrey.
Yeah, Dale and Jeffrey as well. Let me think. I don't... Do you remember Brad Keselowski's brother's name? I think it was Brad Keselowski that was... His brother was in like the Xfinity series for a couple of races or something. I can't remember. That might be another fact check moment. Hey guys, just copy paste the Wikipedia page of all NASCAR drivers in history for me into the chat, and then I can go through it really well.
That's right. Hyper checked in. He's a Trevor McLaughlin fan. So we'll give Trevor a little bit more love. My guess is Hyper, that might be 64 Brandon Thayer. He has the Hyper in one of his little nicknames. So, what's up, Brandon?
Would be him. Man,
I gotta admit that 99 Chrome looks good.
I love all of Trevor's paint schemes, man. Like, they all just look so nice. The synergy of the Ghost. I might be biased, but I love them. He's gotten me to start drinking Ghost energy drinks, and he's not even sponsored by the guys. So, you know, good on him to get a little bit of TV time. I told him he needs to see if he can get a little bit of a sponsorship deal out of them, because he's doing a pretty good job of showing off the Ghost truck and the Ghost car every week.
As many paints as we see with the Dubby logo on it, I don't know anybody that's actually got a check from Dubby, but they sure are doing a good job with their marketing, making it seem like they're sponsoring drivers. This may not be the way Trevor wants to get on the stream, getting lapped by the leader, Ty Williams in the 81. Good on you, Trevor, for letting him go. Ty Williams just in a different league, keeping the gap, second place steady, just cranking down the laps. 7 laps to go now. 6 this time by. Fastest lap of the race, Ty Williams, pole sitter, going for the trifecta.
Man, I mean, has he led every lap of the race too? No, because he had to pit. Because he had to pit. Man, right. If only he would have led every lap, he could be going for the absolute grand slam right now. The grand salami, everyone's favorite stat in motorsports. It's not very common in the NASCAR side. More common in Formula One, IndyCar. Every once in a while you get a grand slam. Yeah, Ty Williams, might as well call it a grand slam. He led every lap that he was really, you know, without pit strategy, he led every lap. He has been absolutely putting on a clinic. 17.5 seconds out in front. Speaking of 17 and a half seconds, 17 and a half seconds behind him, we've got a battle for second between the two Thaylors. Still right there, neck and neck. Eric a little bit deep there. Justin getting a little bit of a better exit as they come through the carousel once again. 6 times by is all they have left for Eric to hold on and for Justin to make it up. Nick Asselin 4 seconds behind these guys, so he might not quite be in striking distance for if these two tango a little too hard. Guess it depends on how hard the tango is.
Here we go. Eric misses the apex there in the last corner. Justin doesn't quite make any room up out of that corner, but I tell you, Walker, we missed a couple of very famous brothers in NASCAR. The Alabama gang.
Yeah.
Worked with me, Bobby and Donnie Allison.
Mm-hmm.
They were brothers. And then Glen and Leonard Wood, both made it into the Hall of Fame. And then the Wood brothers, now team owners. And then the Labanis, like you said.
We've also had, I think, all of the Andretti's race in the Cup Series at some point. Whether it's just for a one-off or for an entire season.
And Justin is eating those curbs in the bus stop there and really working the shocks and spring package on that truck. Not quite helping him yet. Gain on his brother. 5 laps to go. Can he do it? It looks like we have somebody smoking.
Uh-oh.
In turn 1.
Robert Olavison. What happened to him?
Oh, and the bus stop. Wow.
See what happened here.
Done blowed up. Wow. What, he missed a gear or leave it in gear too long?
And he was smoking for a while. Oh. That's a telltale sign of something bad happening. All on his own. He was letting Ty Williams through. Oh, no. That's so unfortunate. See what happened here. Lets Ty Williams down the inside, takes this outside line, goes a bit deep, out onto the marbles, and just loses it. Straight into the wall on the inside. Man, that sucks for Robert.
He's smoking now. Good job not to rejoin dangerously, though. Gotta give him credit.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Robert. Justin and Eric go by. That's Robert's day. Too bad.
And, Eric
Eric
pulled out a second on Justin that time by.
Try to find out why. Why not? Sorry, I can't snap back right to the replay. I have to kind of rewind. Maybe another slowdown. Nope.
Well,
maybe. Oh my gosh.
No, the gap's still there.
Sorry, guys. My camera's just stopped on me. Fast forward.
And he's still. I think he just lost all that time over the lap. I don't think
just a little momentum. A little here and a little there.
Yeah, I don't think he made one big mistake. I think it was just a bunch of little ones together.
Eric Thaler showing his brother who the boss is, who the fast one is. Qualified ahead of him. And now pulling a gap on outright speed. Justin Thaler may be distracted. Back live now. 1.6 seconds between the two. Nicholas Astlin has dropped 5 seconds further back.
The two Thalers are the closest two trucks on the track to each other. The gap now almost 2.5 seconds. I think the biggest distraction right now for Justin is the fact that he is letting Eric run away from him.
Yeah, sure.
All of these little mistakes are compounding the gap now 3 seconds to his brother. So Eric most likely has that second place in the bag. Nicholas Asselin still 4.5 seconds back from Justin. Good points day for him. Dustin Reinstedel, 5th place, 5.5 seconds back from Nicholas Asselin there. And we've got Robert Sanders here in the number 6, started 6th, and he's running in 6th. So I'm not quite sure about that 666 vibes going on here.
Yeah, right.
Hopefully that's not bad luck for him.
In the
with
number
that,
6.
Yeah, that's a little bit sketchy with that that crazy looking truck there. He's always got the wildest liveries out there. You definitely know which one's him, you know?
Yeah.
As Ty
This
Williams comes around on his parade lap here, he could go around in first gear, still win this race. Great job by him. Just dominant. Comes through the bus stop one final time, taking it nice and easy, not overdoing anything through the carousel, keeping that truck nice and square. Not a single sideways moment in that thing, keeping the tire patch nice and firm. Come now to the final couple of corners. Into the second to last corner, hits his braking point, gets down to the apex. Now through the final corner, Ty Williams coming around to take the checkered flag with a dominant win here at Watkins Glen. Great job by him.
Nailed it. Could not do anything better. Eric Thaler coming around for P2. And he got it. Great race for Eric. He'll be happy with that. Been a long time since he's done it. He'll be probably a little disappointed. Eric likes to win. Justin Thaler with the P3. After dropping his chewing gum and readjusting his seat and being distracted a couple times. Wishes he could have some of that back, but still happy to be on the podium. Dustin Reinstedel comes home in 5th. Nicholas Asselin is the guy that finished 4th. I will get these guys. Yeah, I'll get these guys in the pit while you call the results, Walker, if that's all right.
All right. So once again, your winner tonight, Ty Williams in that 81 truck. 16-second gap to Eric Thaler in 2nd place. Justin Thaler taking home 3rd place with Nick Asselin in 4th place from the pit lane. Good drive from him, up 8 positions from the start. Dustin Reinstedel coming home in 5th, and Robert Sanders 6th place. Mark Cochran bringing it home in 7th after a really good run there. Very unfortunate for him with that crash that he had with Eric Thaler. Halfway through this thing, he comes home in 7th. Sean Happick finishing where he started in 8th place. Trevor McLaughlin down a couple of positions from his starting spot. He's in 9th. John Asselin 10th. Ron Schumer in 11th. Michael Harris Jr. in that Sterling Marlin truck. He's in 12th. Robert Olavison, we saw his race end just a little bit early. He's in 13th. And Chris Howlett, I think it's Chris. I have the memory of a dead goldfish. I hope it's Chris.
That's right.
Chris, thank you for your first race here at Midwest Motorsports, Chris. I hope to see you here for a long time coming.
And we have our podium finishers. As Ty Williams is out there doing donuts, I think these Thaler brothers probably wish they were out there doing the donuts. We got 3rd place Justin Thaler with us. What's up, JT? You had a couple of little incidents there, even a slowdown, I think. Talk us through your race.
Yeah, kind of started with qualifying on my second flyer. I thought it was going to be a really nice lap and ended up walking out a little too wide, clipping the wall on exit there at the last corner. So kind of stuck me with my my first flyer over 13, 113. But no, that first issue I had where I fell pretty far deep back in the field there on the second to last corner. I was reaching for my pedals and I didn't think my chair was set, in the right position where I needed it. So I was trying to scoot my chair up just a little bit, ended up not getting it engaged enough. So I just clutched it, tried not to run into the back of Eric there, and then bunch of issues, mechanical issues here with my shifter. So getting like false neutrals. So I'd be in gear rolling through a corner and letting off throttle. It would just go right into neutral. So I had to fidget with that quite a bit. It happened probably 6-7 times during that race. So kind of killed a lot of momentum, coming on corner exit, and I'm just kind of rolling, through neutral. So I was fighting my shifter, for quite some time during that race as well.
Still wasn't a bad race though. I mean, you and Eric both. We can pull Eric in. Eric, great race for P2. You almost had a good battle up there a couple of times. Couldn't quite keep up with Ty. He was just in his own planet on pace. How did your race go, Eric?
Yeah, I don't think it went bad for 30 minutes of practice. I'll take it to P2 all day long. I really feel bad for the 93. Downshifted into third, and it looked like the rear got loose on me and hit him right there in the left rear corner. So I do apologize to him. But, other than that, I thought it was a good race, and, happy with P2 and was happy to get out there on a road course and turn right for a chance.
Yeah, I had Walker with me. Walker, I think Walker has some questions about your pit strategy.
Yeah, so I know you guys last time out in Sonoma, last time we were on a road course, you guys, I know Justin, you like going into the pits that first lap of whenever the safety car comes out. So you guys, I assume you guys probably were talking away about if you were going to do that or not leading up to this week. Can you give us a little bit of insight into why you go for that strategy versus staying out during that competition caution?
Well, a little bit was trying to take advantage of the 2 tire sets. We did kind of realize that there was going to be just a tad bit of fall off, but even just trying to jump some of the field, as we took those extra set of 4 tires, I guess you could say. It did prevail for the most part. It stuck. I think it stuck me in fourth, and Justin made up some spots after having a shifter issue. There was 5th behind me. And we were having a pretty decent run on the fresh tires. So, just was trying to use that to the advantage. Taking that fresh set, even though they were only 7 laps on them. We're just hopeful that would have prevailed, but unfortunately didn't.
You have anything to add on to top of that, Justin, or?
No, I mean, not really. I mean, you gotta, I guess, take a chance, see what happens, right? So, kind of, I thought about it. I mean, honestly, Sonoma was just I'm gonna pit now kind of thing. It really wasn't planned, but yeah, just to, I guess, throw it out there, see what happens. I mean, I was stuck in a position where I kind of needed to take advantage, of that scenario with locking up and falling back, through the field. So, I figured take the tires and let it rip from there and make it a one stop. So I did pit a little bit earlier than I probably should have. I was really tight on fuel there towards the end, but ended up making it, so it's all good.
Especially with the points being so close between you and Ty, only 12 points apart, and Dustin, you're only 13 points behind Dustin, who actually had a great race tonight. Shout out to Dustin, P5.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So you blew it with the bonus points for 0x, but otherwise, I'd say not a bad week. I know. I'm not sure. We talked about brothers racing, Donnie and Bobby Allison, Leonard Wood and his brother, Bobby Labonte and Terry, a couple other brothers. It's really good to see you guys racing out there. 4th position, racing hard and racing clean for the most part. I'm not sure if the Allison brothers or the Wood brothers had as many excuses as Justin's got for why he couldn't catch you there, Eric.
Hey,
was it just me?
I had opportunities. I wasn't gonna do.
we've also had our run-ins on the track before too. So, for the most part, it's never Justin I worry about behind me. It's always Dad.
Roger that.
Yeah,
Well,
The family affair.
especially here. He pushed me off into one time, and so he doesn't live that one down.
uh, but dinner conversations are fun on Sunday nights at the Taylor household when you guys do get together at Thanksgiving dinners.
That's
All
right.
good.
But
Well,
I was gonna say, but Justin and I use the grill.
all right, there you go. Nice.
That's an inside joke.
Keep dad off the grill, huh? I got
Yeah.
it.
Yes.
All good. Nobody wants to die at Thanksgiving dinner. All good. Well, again, great racing, guys. Thanks for creating the Midwest Motorsports League. It's a great league with lots of fun. Everybody seems to be having a good time, and we appreciate all you do for the league.
Absolutely.
That's
Appreciate
it, man. Yes, sir. Thanks a lot. That's the Taylor brothers. We got the winner. Ty Williams been patient in here while we kick the tires with the Taylor brothers. I'm trying to get them off mute now. That was second and third place, but the guy that had pole position led every lap except the pit cycle, and pole position in the win. Ty Williams, James and Walker in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, thanks again for your patience. Great racing, man. Congrats on a great win. Talk us through your race, starting with the qualifying.
Yeah, that was a very good lap. I did a few officials of Watkins Glen earlier in the week in the trucks, and allowed me to try some different things as far as steering ratios and brake bias to see which kind of suited me better for the race and got me more comfortable. So I found what I wanted, and then just kind of hopped up into the race. And I've since racing in this league, I've gone to the Glen, I think, 3 times now, and just the trucks. That doesn't even include the road series
Right.
side of things. And it's just I've gotten better and better each time I've come here, and I've gotten a lot of probably the most laps at this track. So yeah, it was a very good lap, and just from the get go in the race, I just knew that I needed to kind of conserve my tires and just be very smooth. I didn't want to tear it up because I knew my strategy from the very start was I'm just going to do a one stopper since we can make it halfway on fuel. I figured, uh, especially considering my pace by the comp caution started extending, I figured they would pit and try and get the offset, try and get the lead from me, and from that point, then it'd be kind of changing the field. Like I got to go on the attack now. So luckily, it didn't come down to that because Mark did a very good job defending and holding his own
Yeah.
back there, and it allowed me to drive away and keep that gap very comfortable. So hit stops, and I didn't have to worry about anything except just keeping the truck on the track.
What you got for Ty Walker?
Yeah, that was a absolutely dominant performance, Ty. Well done. That was great to watch the times that you were actually on the screen. I think Snap-on might be calling you for the wrong reasons because you didn't get very much TV time. Everybody else was all close to each other, and you were just off into another area code. So, you know, with those guys battling behind you, what really was like? Were you? I assume you were probably cheering for Mark there to hold those guys up and let you just run away, and that's exactly what happened. So, after that, after your pit stop, just you know, nice clean laps, and there at the end, just how much slower were you going at the end once you knew that you had this thing in the bag?
I mean, from the very get go of the race, I just there's certain points on the track where I just know this is where I hit the brakes, and it's very smooth for me. I don't have any wheel hop. I'm not overcorrecting a bunch, and then even getting back onto the throttle, just being very smooth. And from the very start, I just tried to do that the whole time. I never pushed it like I did in the quali lap where I'd brake a little bit later. So near the end, when I saw Eric came out in second, I didn't know if he took tires or not, and if he would reel me back in. But after a few laps, I'd seen that the times were staying around the same, so I didn't worry about it. I just, like I said, kept it smooth, kept it on the track, and uh, navigated the lap traffic. Thankfully, I had no problems with anybody during lapping, and everybody was very respectful and gave space.
Yeah, it was good. I noticed that. You definitely put on a clinic today. Was there any thought at pulling strategy on the competition caution, or did you know you were going to split the race once you knew it was going to be a one-stopper?
I knew I was gonna split the race. Once I saw that I could do a one stopper, I figured after the Sonoma Cup race that there were going to be guys that pulled that strategy, and it might have worked if they used the tires to their advantage and got in front, and let's say run it until I pit and then pit with me and do what Justin did and take fuel only. So I feel like in our cup race on Sunday, we're going to see more strategy because I don't think it'll be a one stop race. It'll probably be two stops. So, um,
And the comp
kinda,
caution will be a little later in the race too, not just 8 laps. Not a lot you can
yes.
do in 8 laps to pull a gap.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see what happens in the cup race as far as the strategy. It was really, really fun earlier in the year at Sonoma where we had 6 cars really going for the win last time around. So we'll definitely see on Sunday.
Look forward to it. Great race out there tonight, Ty, putting on a clinic, showing these Midwest Motorsports trucks that you can miss 2 races and still be in the top 3 or 4 or 5 in points. So it's not over yet. 2 races to go. Looking forward to next week. Well, first we got to get through Sunday, and then next week. Looking forward to it, to watching you as the season wraps up. Congrats on a great win tonight, Ty.
Yeah, thank you. Unfortunately, this is the last truck race for me because I got to work next Friday. I'll be at a
Yeah,
track
let's talk about that.
next. I'll be at a track next Friday. Down
What
in
are you doing in your real life, in your real world?
so
Tell us about it.
So during the weeks, I practice pitting with a group up in Mooresville, North Carolina, and they field for guys in truck and Xfinity, like Jordan Anderson Racing, Sam Hunt Racing, and a few other kind of mid teams, DGM too. So I pit with them, and then I go out to some of the local races with on the modified side and pit for them, and also on the wheel and modified tour with Bobby Labonte. So uh,
Do they have
that
live pit stops, or is it?
on the wheel and modified tour, yes. We had live pit stops last year, but they changed it this year just because I guess safety, but. I still go out there just to help out and get experience and just kind of learn.
Awesome, man. Living the dream. Being around
Oh
race
yeah,
cars all day is almost everybody's dream job. So good on you. We'll be watching for you. Maybe we'll see you on the NBC broadcast one of these days. Congrats again on a clinic you put on tonight, Ty. Great racing. We'll
yeah.
miss you the
Thank you.
next couple truck races, but hopefully we'll see you on Sundays.
Oh yeah, I plan on finishing out the cup season. Um, Trying to go for the championship. It's closed down, but main focus is no X's this Sunday.
Yeah.
And if I can replicate anything near what I did now, then we might be in good shape for Homestead.
Yep. Just 24 points back from Justin Thaler. On the cup side, we'll look for you, Ty. Maybe we'll be talking to you again on Sunday.
Yep, hopefully.
All right. Thanks again. That's Ty Williams, your winner. Join us. Walker, what a great race, man. We saw some strategy. I thought they were going to pull it off. I knew it was going to be difficult. It takes a lot more than that to pull one over on Ty Williams. Tell us about what you thought of the racing tonight, Walker, and close us out, man.
Yeah, it was some great racing here tonight. Oh, the truck series coming out to Watkins Glen. I really wish more guys would come out and try this turn and right stuff. It's a lot of fun, and you can learn a lot about how these trucks drive by running on these road courses. It'll definitely help you on the ovals. So all you truck guys, if you're here listening, you need to get in on this. It's a lot of fun. It doesn't really matter how fast you go, but you're going to get more points if you show up than you do sitting on the sidelines.
There you go. Take it from Walker. Every point matters, and even if you're battling for 4th or 5th or 12th or 13th, it doesn't matter. As long as you're having fun, that's what we're all about. I had a great time tonight, Walker. Thanks for joining me. That's a wrap from Watkins Glen. Ty Williams, Eric Thaler, Justin Thaler, Nick Aslin, still your points leader. Justin Reinstedt will round out the top 5. Thanks to everybody for joining. The fastest growing iRacing league on the internet, according to my research. And Midwest-motorsports.com if you want to get in on the action. Entries are always open and always free. I'm James J., reminding you to stay in your lane. We'll see you Sunday.